Thank you so much for staying with us. This is Good Morning Kenya, the only way to kickstart your morning. Wednesday it is, that day where on this show we always get time to talk about lifestyle matters, issues that revolve around our day-to-day activities, issues that probably sometimes we get right, at times we get wrong. So always we try just to teach ourselves on some of these basic things that we ought to observe to be better people, to be a healthier nation. And right here on Good Morning Kenya this morning, you've always heard them say health by choice, not by might. But then again, we always spend so much money treating so many diseases that we ought to have prevented only if we took time to, live better lives, live a life of observing personal hygiene, the basic things that we ought to observe to live, better and to prevent so many diseases that we end up spending millions to treat in hospitals. And like my guest this morning will share with me, the pharmacies are getting so many in our estates, but the people that are going there, the population of people visiting these chemists to buy medicine is just growing each and every day, but there is so little information that is coming to us in terms of how to prevent some of these diseases that we are suffering from. So people selling drugs will always be happy when they receive more customers, because then they're in business, then they get to make more money. That's why rarely would you find information that will tell you how to prevent diseases, how to live a life that will help you observe personal hygiene. These are things that we ought to also create time and talk about. So today it's all about understanding the aspect of personal hygiene. What is your role, and what can you be able to do in your capacity, in your little space at home? What can you be able to do to observe personal hygiene going forward? And we'll also look at different aspects of personal hygiene. Is it bathing? Is it dental hygiene? Is it hygiene for women, hygiene for men? Trust me, it's just a wide topic that my guest this morning is going to open our eyes to. And I've talked a lot about her, and right about now, let me just give her a chance to say hello. Valentine.
Yes.
Nyakiere. Nyakiere. I got it right, all right.
Yes,
so
yes.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very
You're
much.
a personal hygiene specialist.
Yes.
Many people would ask, do we even have something like that? So let's start there.
Yeah.
Kindly just tell us more about what it means to be a personal hygiene specialist.
Well, first I'll say thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure. I mean, I've looked forward to this moment to be here, and you look dazzling. So
thank you so much. Keep
yes.
going. Thank you.
So personal hygiene, being a personal hygiene specialist mainly means that I have a little bit more information on personal hygiene on a wider scale that I'm able to dispense to others. Even if it's on a school setting, on a group setting, whatever it is that there's somebody who can listen out to me on personal hygiene, I am able to do that. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one would ask, why personal hygiene?
Well, I can say it found me, or I found it, and it's something that I didn't know I had a passion for, but I did have a passion for, and like I'd say, when we talk about personal hygiene, many times I've been called somewhere and someone will tell me, just come and tell us about personal hygiene. And I'm there thinking, okay, where do I start? Because there is just so much.
So much to talk about.
But the thing is, people think that it's just about hand washing and a few other things, brushing your teeth and all that, and the case is closed. But there's so much on personal hygiene. The topics are broad. It is not something that we can exhaust in a day, and it is something that has been overlooked over the years, and that is because the issues that come up post poor personal hygiene are very intimate and very private. So people may not be able to actually go talking about them. There are things that people actually keep to themselves. So I love personal hygiene. I love talking about it. I mean, I could talk about it
the whole day, the whole month.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So you've talked about it being so broad with
Yes.
so many issues to cover, and it will be interesting to even just look at all of them, but we may not be able to do that today.
Yeah.
But let's understand the basic, the general view of personal hygiene, its importance, it's some of the things that we take for granted on a day-to-day basis. Let's start by you giving us your understanding of what personal hygiene is all about. Many people think it's just washing your hands or bathing every day or brushing your teeth. What is it really?
I think I can start with what it's not.
Okay,
Yes.
I like the strategy. Go ahead.
There are people who would think they have a huge idea of what personal hygiene is, and they will blow it out into what it's not. So they will try and think that you can actually replace personal hygiene with products, you know, beauty products or hygiene products that actually get you where you want to.
Why the quote
hygiene products? Because some of them are actually not hygiene products.
Okay.
They're just money-making gimmicks from some companies, and they're given the name hygiene products. Some of them are not hygiene products. So it is not, like I always say, for women, for example, it is not the number of cleaning items that you have on your drawer and beauty products and deodorants and all of that that make you hygienic. It is the simple things, simple practices of an individual to maintain cleanliness. They don't even involve, sometimes they don't even involve all those products. It is like hygiene, feminine hygiene. It does not involve any product anywhere. For you to stay clean, it only involves water and how to do it. So it is not about all those things that make
some expensive soap,
some expensive
that is imported
and all those things. No, it is about the simple things. And then the way I understand hygiene is that we need to know the hacks.
Okay.
The hacks is you may not be at home every other time. You may not be accessing very hygienic places every other time. You need to know how to handle yourself during these times, because that is what determines how hygienic you are from the brain down.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you are just comfortable within your own environment, what happens when you go out? Because that is where now you catch disease. If it is in your place of work, do you know what you're supposed to do? The precautions that we're supposed to take, do you know that? That is, to me, what determines personal hygiene. Somebody asked me, oh, I don't see as many, you know, products as I would want to see on your desk, like I would see with other ladies, and I am like, because that is not what determines how clean I will be. What determines it is, do I know what to do? Not what to have, but do I know what to do?
Because to be clean.
Yes, because if I know what to do, then I will know what is important. Because as we go along, you will realize that the things I'm highlighting that contribute to your personal hygiene are things that people don't normally buy. People don't even have. Like if I tell you everybody should have a roll of cotton wool in their house, most people will overlook. Otherwise, the supply would be doing very well, you know. So, and that is something that everybody should have. It is something that every woman should have and should carry around, because as we get along, you'll see there are hacks, there are things you need to know what to do, like I said. If you go to Nyakiere, for example, and you're at a public place, what do you do?
No wonder, you know, you may have so many products to clean your house, and you may have, you know, like a clear-cut way of how you do your things, how you prepare your meals. But then when you go visiting, they may not have the same products that you have. They may not be cleaning as regularly as you do. They may not be cooking, you know, food in hygienic conditions as you do in your house. But again, it's very rude to say that you don't want to be eating in people's houses.
And if you normally clean your bathroom using whatever it is, and people come to your house, if those people are well educated on bathroom hygiene, they don't need all those products. They just need to know how to maintain themselves around the bathroom and to be as clean as they found it. But if you are relying on those products, which may be good, then you may not achieve in the end, because you may have, like I said, an environment where it is not just you and it is not just your house.
Let me ask, do you think people have taken this issue of personal hygiene close to the heart as much as they should? You seem so passionate about it. You tell me you started this in 2013?
Yes,
This
officially.
Is officially.
Yes.
But it's always something you've been.
Yes. I grew up.
So do you think people find it as important as you do?
I grew up in upcountry, like we say shags, the real shags.
Yeah,
I grew up in
there's a fake shags.
Yes.
Like the real.
Yes, I grew up in
Okay.
a mud house. So
Okay.
that kind of shags.
All right.
But I also grew up with aunties who were clean freaks.
Okay.
And if I remember very well, one of the reasons that I got beatings every other time was because of cleanliness. I didn't, okay, hours of sweeping. There was no washing because where I come from, there was no washing. There was a way you were supposed to sweep because my auntie required that I sweep and there is no dust that gets to her, yet she's seated a few meters away. So there's a way you're supposed to sweep. There's a way you're supposed to maintain the toilet, which is not, it's a latrine, the old type of latrines. And there was no tissue then, but there's a way I'm supposed to maintain myself so that the next time that I'm taking a bath and she decides to inspect me, because I used to get inspected, she wants to be sure that there are no remnants of yes. So I got inspected, and it was very good because later on it actually affected how I went along in boarding school and all of that. So coming down to this life, I think people don't take it to their heart. They're not very serious. I'll tell you for sure, for you know, human beings are habitual beings, and we tend to love habits that are not very good because they are easy. Bad habits are very easy, but good habits, on the other hand, they're very complicated. Yeah. So you find that personal hygiene can be quite difficult, and it's a lot of work for somebody who has not been doing the right thing. It can be quite a lot of work because you need to do very many new things. You
In
need
a
to
particular way, at a particular time, I can imagine.
Yes.
It can be intimidating for some people.
Yes. And I feel that we love shortcuts, and most people, even those that call themselves hygienic, even what I've had a name used nowadays is slay queens, may not be
as hygienic as you think.
Because I think, especially, let's look at, we'll look at our outcome. And what I normally say is, personal hygiene is not about how people see you. It's about how you feel, which is more important, which I call self-love. Because sometimes we focus too much on how people see us, and we forget how we feel.
Like you dress well,
you
makeup.
dress well, you put good makeup, nice shoes, but inside it's...
You don't feel clean.
And I keep saying, if you look like $1 million, but you feel like a shilling, you are a shilling.
So it's about how you feel.
Yes.
It's about how clean you know you are, not about what people see.
Exactly. It's about, it's, you know, if you are clean from inside, from what people don't see, because personal hygiene, you'll find, is mostly what people don't see. Because, I mean, how many times do I see your armpits, for example?
Yeah, that's only me.
You know, exactly. How many times do I come to look into your nostrils?
No, maybe it will never even happen.
All right. So it is about...
It's about me and my choices.
Exactly, and how you feel. And then everything else follows. Let
me give you a good example. In Africa, we do thorough cleaning when we have like guests that are coming. We need to clean the house and make it look very nice because we're having visitors, or dress very well, you know, groom up because we are attending this particular event. You know, so it's about people. It's not about us. But today you're saying it's about how you feel. It's about what you do, not about what you make people believe.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. You see, at the end of the day, I've seen people come to me with questions. When I look at them and the questions they're asking, they don't rhyme. I mean, this person should not be having such kind of a question, because such kind of a question is an oversight on personal hygiene. But they look like they are very, very clean. That tells you they're not paying attention to self. They're paying attention to what others think. And for me, I normally say, when you stop paying attention to what other people think and you pay attention to yourself, then they will see you for yourself.
I want to capture as much as possible. So I'll move very fast with this. When you talk about personal hygiene, you've said it's a very wide, you know, topic. Talk to us about some of the key areas that fall under that when we start having that mindset of we want now to be hygienic, what are some of the things, fundamental issues that we need to know?
Let's start from head to toe, because personal hygiene is all about the body. So of course we have dental hygiene, that is hygiene of the mouth and all of that. We have generally bathing, which is a topic on its own, on personal hygiene. We have the topic that is closest to my heart, menstrual hygiene.
Okay.
We have facial and feet hygiene, which covers most of the skin hygiene and all of that. We have body odors, that is, again, a topic on its own. Then we have the very interesting sexual hygiene, which, I mean, most people don't undergo training on that. Then we have, also have a topic on hygiene to the boys or to the men, because sometimes they get left out and they have also their issues.
Especially jasho. I hear that being said a lot.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
So there is hygiene for the men and the boys.
Yes, and
different
the boys,
from the women?
Emphasis on a few things for the boys.
Are different?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they have a few of their issues as well.
Okay.
Then we have hair removal as well, because it's a topic that needs to be covered. We have the bedroom, which is close to the body. And we have the bathroom as well.
How to clean the bedroom, how to clean the bathroom.
Yes.
It's not just
because
general cleaning of the house.
Yes,
there are certain ways
yes.
of doing different rooms in the house. Okay.
Okay. So basically around that is what I normally have. Then of course we cover issues, gynecological issues that we encounter, what may cause them, what we can do to actually avoid them, and some of the mistakes that we make, because sometimes we self-treat ourselves in a wrong way. And when I mean self-treat, I mean you have a small issue, you run to the chemist, and we know nowadays the chemists are not the best place because they are after money. So they dispense even what is supposed to be only under prescription. So and they'll just give you as long as they look at you, and So at the end of the day, you find these are some of what we normally cover. Okay. Yes.
Talk about how we've been caught, like what are some of the challenges we experience? How expensive is it to have poor personal hygiene, so that we may see the magnitude of the problem?
Health is something that is very straightforward, because like one of my friend and clients tells me, health is like this: you either pay now in small bits or you pay later with a lot of money and time. Because when you get sick, you have to give up your time and you have to give up your money. But if you preserve your health now with a few things and paying attention to what you're supposed to do, then you prevent yourself for the eventuality of the later. Okay. Some of the issues that we have, especially of the skin and the fungal infections and all of those are poor hygiene. And then somebody would ask me, but Valentine, we've been getting by. That is something I get a lot.
We don't know that there is a specific way of sweeping. But we've lived all along until today, and we are sweeping.
But the hospitals can tell a different story, right?
Okay.
Yes, because I mean, I normally say sometimes you cannot relate. You see, it's like a country fighting. Like there are all the hurricanes. We cannot relate because they've actually not happened to us. Until they actually happen to us. So for some people, they may think it's some fairy tale about illness until it actually comes. So until, if you're a woman, you've gotten a fungal infection that has not been treated, you've gotten inflammation of your genitals and all of that, it has caused you so much issues, and then it may cost you your fertility. That is when you actually think,
I wish I knew.
I wish I actually paid attention. I wish I wasn't that ignorant, you know, all of that. So at the end of the day, somebody may have gotten by. But just as one person gets sick and another doesn't, like we'll all pass through a dusty road. One person will cough, another will sneeze, another with nothing will happen. Just that is how we are different.
But that does not mean that there are no challenges.
And this person who has not sneezed or coughed cannot say that, you know, dust is good.
Okay.
You cannot say that because we are all different. The other thing is, I always give a very simple experiment, and I always say, It's like having something on a table, on the center of a table, just like this flower. Okay, it's very safe where it is, and if you push it once, nothing happens, or even twice or 10 times. But if you keep pushing it, it will get to the edge, and it will give up, and that's what happens to our bodies. But then, personal hygiene related illnesses are not illnesses that can be advertised. Actually, if you die out of a personal hygiene related illness, it cannot even be written on your eulogy. Okay, because they are very intimate and very private.
There's a lot of stigma.
There's a lot of stigma, and you may seem like you are immoral and all of those things. And I mean, if any of us here in this studio right now has a problem, assuming around your genitals there are all these boils and everything, do you go around announcing it?
These are silent issues.
These are silent issues. So are we going to assume that everybody is okay? So I will be thinking, because I have no problem.
There's no problem.
There's no problem. But it's a silent issue. It's not a headache that you can actually stand in a bus and say, who has a painkiller? It is not a headache.
Okay. So aside from, personal hygiene related illnesses, are there any other, effects or consequences of not living a hygienic life?
Yes, there are so many of them. And those are probably, I don't know, I hope we can have another session where, especially, even for the men, you will find that there are also issues with them. Then for the ladies, of course, there are too many. And then sometimes I'll hear the men saying, but there's already issues. And I'm thinking, you are a father to a daughter, or you have a sister, or you have a wife. So directly,
you need to know.
You need to know.
You need to
be informed, because you'll probably be funding the treatment for that.
Yeah, true.
And I mean, gynecology pays for those who are in that field. And most of us women, you can bear me witness, rarely go to the gynecologist anyway. We only go when it has
there's a problem.
And it has
it's different,
worse.
like in the Western world. They have like a regular. They visit the gyna regularly. But here it's on. It's like even with other diseases, you only go to hospital when there is a problem. But we encourage go for checkups.
Actually, I'm a Rotarian, and a few months ago we had a medical camp. We had a series of medical camps, and when we call for the medical camps, they are free, and there are tests. There are breast cancer tests, cervical cancer, and all of that. And people have a notion that this is for the poor. And they won't come in.
Actually, those that cannot afford.
Yeah, but you see, it is there. The service is there. Even some of us who are there, you will find, like in the HIV room, the attendants do not have patients. And some of us cannot even go in for a test. It is there. It is there. It is there.
People feel like it's for other people.
It's not for other people.
Okay.
So now when you are sick, it's now when you get in. So for me, what I've done is, I know sometimes we may forget, but the good thing is I always come across medical camps every other time. So every time I'm at a medical camp, I always pop in and have all those tests done. For me, it has become like a lifestyle. And you find now I don't even actually need to go this other side, because I'm part of it, and these are things that are there. And when you don't go in for the, let's say like the HIVs, we'll just take back the kits. Because they were to be used, all of them. So why not do it? Why not take it serious? Why not take advantage?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, why not?
Let's talk about something interesting.
Yes.
Bathing.
Bathing.
Because somebody would think this is just normal bathing, this activity we do every day. So what's there to talk about, really? What's there to do different? How should we do it? Who should even teach us about these things? Is there even anything to learn about bathing, aside from when you're young and your mom is trying to teach you how to bathe and that's it? So bathing as a topic, really? Talk to us. Open our eyes.
I have a 5-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And I am trying to teach her how to take a bath.
Okay.
And it's quite challenging, because I have to teach her what I teach others.
Okay.
And I remember I was giving her a bath a few weeks ago, and she asked me, she told me, "See, mommy, I'm very clean." I had, because I had taught her how to use the bathroom, how to use the toilet paper in a tapping mode and all of that. So she's like, "You see, mommy, I'm very clean. I know how to do it now." I was like, "Yes, you're a good girl." And she goes like, "Are you also very clean?" I was like, okay, yeah. I had to tell her I'm very clean, yeah. Because if I don't, she'll get doubts and all of that. But as mothers, are we? Are we clean?
In as much as you encourage your kids to be,
Yes.
are you?
Are we clean?
Yeah.
First of all, bathing. Drying towels, for example. How many do we have? Bath towels, how many do we have?
Commonly one for
For like forever.
for the entire.
Men, I know they use one for a year or whatever it is.
Okay.
I can see some people looking at me.
You better be careful.
I better be careful.
That is a very dangerous button to touch.
Yes. But I know that is a place. It's a place that people really don't pay attention to.
Bathing.
Yes, bathing. One is let's look at something very small. Assume you're in a place where you're sharing a common bathroom, and you have your soap. It does not have a proper soap dish that does not touch the surface. That means that soap can actually transfer very bad bacteria or fungals to you. Because this is shared. We have fungals on our feet. This is somewhere we are going in with dirty shoes. So if you put
to remove dirt anyway.
Yes.
So the floor is dirty.
It's very dirty.
So the soap dish should be raised a bit from
should
the
be
floor.
Raised.
Okay.
See, now if you're sharing, as in a house, for example, you find maybe there are places where the soap is kept that is actually on the wall or something of that sort. But that is not a luxury that is everywhere. It is good to always remember. So, is your soap dish proper? Because that could actually transfer a lot of bacteria and fungals to you. Number two, something very simple, your bathing towel. So women, we have one bathing towel, right? That we use from head to toe.
Yeah.
Okay. We have makeups on our face, right? And we have oil all over our body, sweat and all of that. Then we go down, we have the feet.
There's dust.
There's dust, that is number one. Number two, if you are in closed shoes, you have, the feet tend to have more fungals and all of that. So what you're doing is you're taking the fungals from the feet up to your genitals. So what will happen is you will find that you will either always have some smell, itchy, burning sensation every now and then, some of these things. Then sometimes you may go for treatment, but they keep coming back. Why are they coming back? Yet you're very clean.
You're doing the same thing. Because you're doing the same thing over and over again. You're still using one towel.
Yes.
So you solve the problem, but then you bring it back again.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
for how many towels?
So for us ladies, we should have an extra one for our genitals. We should have one which we use for our vaginal region for that particular purpose only. Personally, I use a nappy liner. Some of the new generation may not know what an nappy liner is.
There's pampers.
There's pampers, so they may not know.
Generation X may not understand.
Yes, they may not understand, but they are there and they're very affordable, and it's very soft, very easy to clean, and it is white. I always encourage white bathing towels.
Okay.
Then you can know when there's a problem somewhere or when it is clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the face towel, do you need to have like a separate face towel?
Yes. Especially for people who use makeup. Okay. It is important when you do that because, of course, what you're putting on is a lot of chemicals. Then the other thing is taking a bath. Most people take 2 baths a day. Well, I don't know if it's most, but quite a number of people take 2 baths a day.
In the morning, before you go to work, and when you come back.
In the evening. So on both occasions, should you use soap?
Every time you bathe, you should use soap. That's what I think.
But you see, if you come from work you have dust and sweat and all of that, yeah? And the oil probably that you had put on your body. So that's okay, you can use soap in the evening before you go to bed. But in the morning, unless you're a night runner, why should you be using soap?
So how should you bathe without soap?
You know, what
So
happens is you're removing
what is the problem by using soap, you know,
Yes.
regularly?
Yes, let me get there. Now, in the evening, it is okay. You can use soap because what you're doing, soap is going to help remove the oils, the dust, and the sweat all mixed together because that is what is on the skin, plus maybe some of the dead skin, okay? But now, in the morning, I think all of what you're going to be having is sweat, okay? So sweat is soluble in water.
Okay.
So you actually, and you know, you had already rid your skin of the natural oils. So when you go to bathe with soap in the morning, you are now getting the natural oils completely off. So your skin may age faster and it will seem drier. Why?
Okay.
Because you are using soap on bare skin, if I may call it bare skin. Okay, because you know most of us actually don't use natural oils. We use these other type of oils. So that tells you now where we are. That is why you find that your body is always asking for more oil,
You're
Actually,
always dry.
if
Your skin is
you're
always
at
dry.
home, like on a weekend,
Yeah.
you've taken a bath maybe when you got home on Friday. In the morning on Saturday, you take another bath with soap, and you just stay in the house. You don't oil your skin. You seem very dry. Why is that? Because you rid your skin of in its natural oils.
A lot of ladies think having oily skin is actually a problem. They prefer that they don't shine and have a lot of oil on their skin. Maybe you can talk to us about the importance of having, you know, the natural oils on the skin. For ladies, being shiny is a problem. You ought to be,
Yeah,
you know,
you plain.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, you know, like I said, yeah, personal hygiene in itself, because me, I believe in being beautiful and clean. Personal hygiene in itself contributes to beauty up to 90%. Okay? Of which I believe the rest is normally contributed by clothing, your smile, your attitude, and the likes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no beauty product mentioned anywhere.
For me, in my world, the rest is
Okay.
is personal preference.
Okay.
But in my world, once you have
Personal hygiene,
personal
smile.
hygiene, you
Okay.
have your smile, you have your attitude, and you have good dressing, you are completely beautiful at that point.
Okay. Okay.
Your hair is combed well, or you've put your hair well, you don't have a 2-month-old weave and all of that, you are completely beautiful at that point. And let nobody lie to you that you are not when you have maintained proper hygiene.
Okay.
The rest is what you actually want to burden your brain with, that you are not properly beautiful, okay? Which I believe sometimes we get the wrong perception of beauty. Okay, yeah, sometimes we get the wrong perception of beauty because, I mean, ever seen somebody smile and, you know, you forget about everything else you had seen on their face and all you see is their
You concentrate on
their
that.
smile.
Yeah.
And they have a good attitude and their face just looks bright.
That
That's
is it.
enough.
So
Yes.
beauty is a personal hygiene, attitude, and a smile.
Yes.
The rest is what you choose.
The rest
But
is
the
what you
basic
choose,
is
but the
observe
basic
personal hygiene,
Yes.
smile and have a good attitude and dress well.
Yes, and dress
So
well.
the makeup, the
The
what, that
what-
is what you prefer.
Yeah, that is what
Okay.
you prefer.
You decide.
You decide
Okay.
and all of that.
Let's go back to bathing.
Yeah.
You've talked about taking a shower twice.
yeah.
Is that the recommended, or how many times?
It is important that you actually, if you're going to take a shower once, it is okay because there are places where, like I said, sometimes you may not have the luxury to take it twice. It's always good to know worst case scenarios. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you have to take it once, at least once a day, like I said, depending on where you are and the circumstances and all of that, let it be an evening shower if possible. Why? Because when you go to the bed and you sleep on the pillow and your skin is dusty, so you leave the dust there. You have hair oils. For those who use hair oils, you have hair oils, so you leave the oils again on the pillow all right? Then in the bed sheets, if you're dirty. So what happens is you're going to be breathing that every other day, every night when you get to sleep, which is very dangerous. Again, we don't change our beddings as often as we should. So what I normally say, if you're taking one shower a day, let it be an evening shower as opposed to a morning shower. You know, our brains are cultured to think that it's a morning shower, you know, before we go to work. If you're taking one bath
come
in a
to think
day.
of it, it could be for people. Like, let me be clean so that because I'm going out and I'm going to mingle with people.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why many people prefer taking a shower in the morning, because probably they're going to work or they're going somewhere, so they need to be clean.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like I always emphasize, when it comes to personal hygiene and when you learn to love yourself, it will no longer be about what people think or what they see. It's about you. You will learn to know, I feel dirty, I need to take a shower. Or I'm okay. You will learn to listen to yourself. So you don't need to take a shower when you're leaving. No, you need
take
to
a shower when it's time to take a shower.
When it's time to
when
take
you want
a shower.
To be clean. When it's your time to be clean.
Yeah, the same way nutritionists tell us that we should eat when we should eat, not when we are expected to eat.
At lunchtime,
at
in the
lunchtime,
morning.
When we should eat when it's
You can eat any time,
yes.
as long as your body tells you, now I need food.
So the same case with personal hygiene.
Okay.
I told somebody a few weeks ago that we need to know that when it comes to personal hygiene, listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Learn to listen to your body. Learn to know when it's time to go. Learn to know that. Because that is what matters so much in hygiene. It's not about, okay, I'm stepping out, it's in the morning, I need to take a shower, and you didn't take a shower last night, and then you come and sleep on the same beddings. I mean, you're doing zero work. What's the point? You'd rather just go without taking a shower, I mean. Because you're doing it for them.
Not for yourself.
Not for yourself. And you're not doing it right again. Okay.
And for people who take even 3 days or...
And then for people who are married,
I
normally get this question a lot. Should we share bathing towels? Should we share drying towels? Oh, and when you add a bathing towel for your genitals or for your face, you have to do the same for the drying towels.
Okay.
But that you don't have to get the big towel. You can get just a small towel for that area. But make sure the towel is soft enough so that the fabric is not so bad. But like I said, okay, maybe I lean too much towards the nappies, but I love it. They're very soft.
Because it's soft.
They're very soft. And
but there are people who prefer that roughness when they are taking a shower and they use something
that it's good for the back.
It's rough.
Yeah, it's good for the back, but for the genitals, it's not good.
Okay.
Because the skin around that area is different from skin for the back or for the hands or wherever else.
But there's no harm in using something rough for taking a shower?
No, for the back, no. For the genitals, you need to be quite careful with that area. But for a place like the armpits, we need to pay extra attention to that place, because I always say that I'm told people take a shower for a minute. I really can't divide that minute into how long they take on their face, their armpits, their genitals.
So is there like a recommended time, or it depends on what you do?
I get that question a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying 1 minute, you shouldn't take a shower for 1 minute.
No,
I'm like, okay, is there a specific recommended time, or it depends on how fast you are, as long as you do all the right things?
Well, that in the morning, if you're taking a shower, in the evening, 1 minute we can negotiate.
Okay, so it goes back to how clean you are.
Yes, how clean you are, how much attention you're paying to yourself.
Okay, how much you love yourself.
Yeah, how much you love yourself.
It's your moment.
It's you. And I always say, stop the rush. Okay, stop the rush. Just pay attention. You know, like, do you even clean your eyelids? You know, some eyelids smell very bad. Do you even clean your nostrils when you're taking a shower?
I was coming to that. You know, like, if there is a difference between how you clean your face and how you clean your body. Because I heard somewhere, there was a skin therapist that I was talking to a while back. And they're like, before, it was about skincare. So before you go into the bathroom to take a shower, what most people don't do is that they don't realize how sensitive the face is. So you just dash in there and you just wash everything together all in one basin and everything. But then she was advising that you can actually just take time seated somewhere, you know, even outside or somewhere comfortable with warm water, and take time to clean your face first. Clean off everything first and make it very clean. Then when you go inside the bathroom, it's just about the body now. that the face needs extra attention and extra, I don't know. Is there, what would you share with us from your experience as well?
On a practical platform, because sometimes I like to speak,
to be real.
That
right.
Some people may not have that time. Most people actually do not have that time.
Okay.
So personally, like what I do, something that is I can keep a good habit at, is when I go to the bathroom, I'll surprise you, I start with my genitals.
Okay.
That is because they need to be cleaned with clean water, with all that, without soap or anything, and the water has to be very clean. The other part I go to is the face, and I also clean with clean water. I don't use soap.
Okay.
That includes everything on the face, even the nostrils, because I don't need to use soap on any part of my face.
Okay.
Then now I go to the rest of the body.
You never wash your face with soap?
No, I don't wash.
Never?
Never.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I have not
so
been
what
taught.
of these people selling antibacterial soaps for the face, acne, something, you know, those products that,
like I said,
are being promoted to be helping in skincare?
Well, I don't complicate my hygiene life. I don't complicate my hygiene life.
Simple is always too much.
Yes, and I also noted that the skin gives back to you what you give it.
Okay.
So if you disturb it too much, it will also disturb you.
So if you have
equally.
acne, that it
If you
goes
have
beyond
acne,
having it, there is something you didn't do right.
Yes, if you have acne, and then, you know, sometimes people seek for treatment when it has been there for a very long period of time.
Okay.
And then you come thinking that you can treat it in a week or in a month, yet you have had it for years and years. So it is good to be practical when it comes to those issues. Then, like I'm saying, when it comes, you see, like, assuming I'm teaching a young girl, she's going to learn to pay attention to herself. So if this thing sets in, she can know how to look at it from when it sets in, not waiting for it to, you know, prolong, and then it becomes very difficult to treat. Okay? Because that's the problem we have. We wait for issues to prolong. All right? So the face, I agree. Personally, I don't use soap. I use warm water and just a clean towel and all of that. Yeah. So
we were on the face.
Yes.
You, after your face, so what's next?
Then I go to the body and I pay attention to my armpits. Because sometimes we just pass through the armpits, and it can be very dangerous, because what happens, we may be using deodorants, and when we use deodorants, what they do is they collect the sweat, and it is there. If you don't scrub out the collected material there properly, you could have a permanent odor from your armpits on the long term. Remember, we say that these issues don't happen within a day or within a week. They could take time. So you may wonder, what has happened to my skin around the armpits? What is going on? That could be the reason, okay? So it is good to pay attention to your armpits. Make sure you clean out the sweat properly. You scrub it out, especially, and for those who have hair, who don't remove hair, they should pay attention even much more than the others. Yes.
Okay.
Then, of course, now you go down, and the feet should be different. It is good to clean the feet differently and to dry them differently, because if you don't dry your feet properly, they could cause you permanent trouble. Yes, it is good to pay attention to your feet.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just on Twitter, and thank you, our viewers, for making us a trending topic this morning. And we're talking about personal hygiene, remember? And our Twitter handles are open at Serafin_Achieng, at Marto Bahati. The hashtag is GMK Good Morning Kenya. The hashtag is Good Morning Kenya. And at KBC Channel 1 is also our Twitter handle. You can send in your views there. Evans Achieng, you say a show that you do not want to miss. Tune in now. There is one asking, when was the last time you watched Good Morning Kenya? Please tune in now. The best show ever. Thank you so much. Fini Laura there watching us. Thank you for your feedback. And then there is one asking a question about how regular you should take a shower. I think we've been able to answer that. Yeah. And then best topic, really learning a lot. Thank you so much for that comment. And we really appreciate, the feedback that you're sending and the questions that you're asking us on Twitter this morning. Remember, our Twitter handles are open at Serafin_Achieng, at Marto Bahati, and at KBC Channel 1. Good Morning Kenya is our hashtag, and we'll keep sampling them as we continue in the course of the program. So now, Valentine, let me ask about the men. You've talked a lot about the ladies. What are some of the things that you feel, men also ought to know that you can share with them, this morning? Things that we just take for granted. Yeah.
Well, men, the sniff test does not work.
I didn't see that coming.
The sniff test does not work.
Whether you're clean, you go like...
You want to use your boxers here. I think this is good.
Iko sawa.
Iko sawa. See, they're already doing it.
Okay.
So no, the sniff test does not work on your shirts, your vests, your boxers. No. Please clean your boxers.
You've touched a hot button. We are coming back after the break to talk more about the men. Remember, today it's all about personal hygiene. The simple, basic things, probably things that you've thought about, but now that she's talking about it, you actually realize, I didn't know that. Like, I didn't know a soap dish has to be raised because there is a reason it has to be raised. Yeah. So today I know. We are coming back after the break. Keep it. Good morning, Kenya. Thank you so much, and welcome back to the program. This is Good Morning Kenya, the only way to kickstart your morning. We were having a very beautiful conversation before we took that break, a conversation that we are just about to bring to a close, but not before we touch on two critical issues that have been brought up on our social media platforms. So we are talking about personal hygiene, but then the conversation went way into bathing, and a lot of interesting issues have come up, including the sniffing test that Valentine is sharing with me here, that it never doesn't work for men who are used to sniffing to see whether wako sawa, ati ilongi iko sawa, I can use it for 3 more days. You just made my morning by that. But then, because of time, I've seen a request here for us to quickly talk on two issues very quickly. Number one is whether the way we have a regular cleaning for our house and a general thorough cleaning for our house, maybe weekly or monthly, when you come to body, when you're cleaning your body, does that also apply? And then as you talk about that, also touch on hygiene for patients. If in case you're attending to somebody who is not feeling well, is bathing important, and how do you go about it for somebody who is not feeling well as well? So touch on those two issues as we bring this program to a conclusion.
I think for the body, every day is a general cleaning day.
It's a thorough.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't have days when you are paying less attention to yourself.
Okay. And
days when you are paying more attention to yourself. Every day is a general cleaning day. Let us make every day a general. And you know what I normally say is like, somebody told me that they've never cleaned their navel and it's black. And I was telling them, okay, you may need to start slow, but when you just do it lightly every other day, you will not accumulate all that dirt. Okay. So it is good to know that you can pay attention to your body every single day. And if we paid as much attention to ourselves, for ourselves, as much as we pay attention to ourselves for others, we would have a much more hygienic life. Yes, because that is the problem. Because the reason why we would want to have a general cleaning day for our bodies is because we've been paying attention for others and not for ourselves. Yes.
So it should be about you.
Yeah, it's about you. It's good to remember that it's self-love. It's about you. Yeah.
We'll have one of these days to talk about that self-love. It has come up a lot in this conversation.
Yes.
Very quickly, the other issue that I want you to talk about, care for the patients.
Yeah. You see, the same case that we are talking about here, whatever you do for yourself, if you're attending to your patient, it is good that you do it for them the same way. Sometimes you'll find it's a patient who is probably under diapers, and they require a little bit more care because they could get sores and all of that if you don't tend to them properly. If you don't clean them as often as you should, there'll be a problem. If you assume that because they're a patient, you don't need to pay attention the way you're paying attention to yourself. Because if it's a lady, like you've said, the same way you have a towel for your genitals is the same way you should have one for her, for her genitals. Because at that point, she's not able to take care of herself. Then she's shedding a lot of dead skin onto the sheets that she's sleeping on. So it is important that you change them, if possible, every day. Especially that sheet that she's sleeping on. Actually, that is why you see sometimes even in hospitals they change every day, because you're shedding a lot of dead skin and a lot of sweat because you're in the bed 24 hours a day. Yeah, so it is good to change those sheets quite often, and then whatever that they are ailing from could actually be contributing to the level of toxicity in the sweat probably, and all of that. Maybe they have some leaking urine and all of that. So it's good to pay attention to that as well. And like I've said, most important, you know, you may be at a place, it is good to be realistic. You may be at a place where you probably are not able to change both sheets regularly. Yeah, true, but you can, the one that they're sleeping on is vital. Yeah, so I've seen a case where they've changed the one that they're sleeping on every day, then the one that they're covering every 2 days, depending on availability, because it's always good to consider everybody. Because while someone...
And you may just have 2 bed sheets, but it can work, because a bed sheet takes very few minutes to dry. So you can take out one, clean it up and hang it.
You can remove the one that they're lying on and put the one that they're actually covering themselves with. And it is good for such a patient that you ensure that they have a bed sheet they're lying on and a bed sheet they're covering themselves with. Because, you know, some people who use duvet, for example, they do not use a bed sheet to cover themselves. And I don't think that should be the case for such an ailing patient. Yes.
And that should apply to the elderly citizens as well?
Yes. And
many people
the pillows,
take that for granted.
The pillowcases.
People who, the elderly in the society.
And
many people take their bathing for granted. They may even go a week without taking a bath. Thank you for your time. I have to cut you short.
It's all right.
We've run out of time. Probably we will continue this conversation in the future. But thank you for watching as well. That has been quite a session. We've learned a lot on personal hygiene. Valentine has been sharing with us. She is a personal hygiene specialist, a founder of Beautiful and Clean.
Yes, Beautiful and Clean.
And we've really enjoyed. Coming up is more right here on Good Morning Kenya. We have a representation from the United Nations. A lot is going to be happening in Kenya, something that you want to hear about, a very big meeting that is going to be taking place right here in Nairobi that you should be part of, because it concerns you. Issues that concern you are going to form the agenda for this particular meeting. So keep it right there. Martin Mwanje is coming up with the second part of the interviews of the day. My name is Serafin. We take a short break.